Alquincia Selawang, better known to you as AKAnundrum, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Drum Circle Show, where we highlight some of our unsung, lesser-known entrepreneurs, where you can get real boots on the ground information that applies to you. So if you are in the hair braiding industry, anything relative to that, this is the episode for you. Now, if you're new here or if you're returning, you know how I do. We don't waste time. We jump right into it. So I'm going to allow my guest to introduce herself, let you know about her business and how long she's been in business. And with no further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Hey, my name is Kiana Wilson. I am owner of Braids by Kiana and BBK Studios. We do a lot of braiding styles, hairstyles, natural hairstyles, and anything you can really think of. I have the salon for my booth renters, and I have the suites for when my booth renters are ready to move forward to have their own business.
Wow, wait a minute. You have the salon feature. Okay, I definitely want to unpack more of that, okay? Because that right there is, I literally just did an interview, not sure if it's going to be positioned before this one or after this one. That is just a model that I absolutely love, and I think is the future in terms of stylists, you know, really taking that next level and into getting into that business. So let us know again, like you started, right? A little bit more about your journey. So you started braiding, and how did you get into the salon aspect? And also let people know, just for those who don't know, a little bit more about what that salon business model is like for you.
Okay. So basically I started when I was 12 years old. I started in my mom's basement. And it went from the basement to, I graduated high school early and I wanted to work in a salon. So I found my first salon to get into. I was there for a couple of years and I just went to different salons just to get the experience. And I learned things that I didn't like and what I did like. So when I did open my salon up, I knew exactly what I wanted to offer and to set myself apart from other salon owners.
Right. And see, in braiders, that's just not something that we typically see housed in a salon, right? For me, myself personally, throughout my life, it's always been, to be honest with you, it was the girl in the hood.
Oh, yeah.
With the braids. And then from there, I started learning to do my own braids. And then I became, you know, one of the girls who was also braiding, but it was never really salon centric. It was always in the home. Salons are really for the relaxed, you know, the blow dry, the sets, those kind of more upscale, what we would consider like more professional styles. And so now seeing that braiders are actually moving into more of that professional setting, I think that that is absolutely amazing, right? For that. So now, how long did it take you to go from, you know, doing this yourself to actually the salon?
So I will let you know that I am still young. I'm 26 years old. So I started when I was 12 years old. So I started braiding my hair. It went from my hair to I promoted on Craigslist. Started getting clients from Craigslist. Then when Craigslist died down, that's when Instagram came up. So Instagram really started booming like 2013. That's when I first opened up my account on Instagram. So ever since then, I just kind of been just elevated and just moving up. The salon aspect, it took me a long time to get there because you do have to save, you do have to do your business credit. So you can get bank loans and get loans for your business instead of using your personal. So it just took a long time, and I'm just using the young aspect just because I couldn't do so much with me being younger. But once I got old enough, I kind of educated myself and I learned a lot. So I was able to open the salon. So just from the people I was working for in the salons, I learned information from them that I can use to open my own salon.
That's really helpful, because what you did is, instead of just trying to go into this sight unseen, you used your work experience and then the people who employed you as that sort of a guide, right, to doing that. When you were trying to figure some of those things out, did you find that the owners was there any hesitancy to giving you that information, or were they really open to giving you that?
I can be quite honest. They were okay with giving the information, but I feel like when it was time for me to spread my wings, it became an issue.
Mm,
So like the last person I was working for, um, I learned a lot from her. I learned more about hair, treating hair, washing hair, treatments, and all those things. And also when it came to the business aspect. But when I was ready to actually leave and to open my own salon up, it was one of those questions where it was, when did you want to open a salon, or X, Y, and Z? And she actually kicked me out of her salon because I wanted to open my own salon up. So I do want to pinpoint that in this industry, the hair industry, braid industry, just the beauty industry, it's a lot of hate with just Black women and Black barbers. I feel like just because we supposed to work together, there's money out here for all of us. So why can't we just pitch in and just help each other? And I ran into that issue, but I just learned a lot from her, and I just took that and I just moved forward. And that's just something that I knew that I didn't want to offer for the young ladies who work for me now. So I'm super open to helping them. If they have any questions, if they want to leave to open their own salon up, I am here. Use me as an example and I can teach you.
so do you think that because we have seen a huge influx in terms of stylists entering the market? So for example, in the past, if you wanted to be a stylist in a salon, for the most part, you had to have a cosmetology degree. And the criteria for having that cosmetology degree meant that, there were definitely a vetting process, which meant that, not everyone was just going to be able to apply. It wasn't the easiest credential to obtain, and then, of course, passing the test required for that. Now, when it comes to braiding, because braiding is not as heavily of a regulated industry, it's far easier to access that, right? It's easier to become a braider, which is going to increase that competition and the likelihood of that competition. Do you feel that that may play into why it's a little bit more gatekeeping, or, people are not as open to giving that information? Do you think that that might play a part into it?
I don't really think so. I don't think so. I said, for example, I'm here in Virginia, so to braid, you don't need a license or any certification or anything, but you do need to have a cosmetology license. Versus if you're in North Carolina, you do need a natural hair license, or you have to get a cosmetology license. I don't really think that really plays a role into why people kind of gatekeep information, because I feel like there's nothing wrong with just helping. Some information is good to keep to yourself, but some information, when it does come to open a salon, because I think some of us are not well educated on those things, there's nothing wrong with kind of giving a little bit of information. I'm not saying to give all information.
Right. I mean, most people are like, if you think about it from a business perspective, so let's remove our personal.
Okay.
What you would be asking a person to do, or what we're asking a person to do a lot of times, is to create their own competition.
Right.
And from a business perspective, that's not really the wisest choice, right? To do is to actually create your own competition, because competition is going to come. But what most business owners are not going to want to do is actually help that process along, because we do, and conceptually we can say, like, there's plenty of money out there, but eventually, as industries do get very, very saturated, that customer base is going to shrink. Right. And then we also have, I'm going to say, in terms of hair braids specifically, that are things that now, especially with YouTube and the DIY culture, not only are the stylists competing with other stylists, they're competing with the customers now, more so, who are able to execute those styles themselves. Right. So I think we're seeing, if not a real shrinking consumer base, maybe the perception of, a consumer base that is shrinking, which is probably going to make people a little bit, just a little bit more guarded, right? In terms of, and we also have to understand too, that security in terms of sharing, because a person like me, I share information a lot. I feel comfortable sharing that information because I'm secure in the fact that I'm the only me. My touch, my vision, my approach, my, how I take to something is unlike anyone else, and it's impossible. So even if you and I are doing the same things, we have the same tools and everything, we're still not going to execute the same, right? The way we run our business is not going to be the same. The styles are not going to be the same. Now, I'm perfectly comfortable in that, but I know that a lot of people don't really feel that way. You know, they haven't reached that level of comfort. And that's kind of what I genuinely sense when I see people who are so closely guarded, that they haven't really understood how unique they are. You know what I mean? That you are a one-of-one. And so truthfully, there is really no competition being used. But in terms of services, when we're thinking practically, there is competition for those services, right? Now, I also want to touch down into something that you brought up, because I know that it was a very hot topic. And that was, should braiders be required to be licensed throughout all states? I remember this topic. It was a hot topic. And, you know, on one end, so I'm going to try my best to really quickly present both sides of the argument for those of you who are not aware. So typically when it came to natural styles that didn't require chemicals or, you know, anything like that, it wasn't as regulated. So when braiders really started entering the industry had not really regulated that segment of the market. So you were able to come into a salon at some point and just be a braider, and you didn't have to be licensed. Well, at one point, that conversation came up. Now, on one end, you had the braiders and even like the consumers who were saying, hey, braiding has been a part of our lineage and our heritage since the beginning of time. Okay, especially as African Americans, this has largely been something passed on from generation to generation to generation. So who is the government to come in and now decide that they can regulate our tradition, basically, right? What is literally something inherent to us, and tell us how to do it. Tell us when we can do it, how it's supposed to be done. So a lot of people felt like it was largely government overreach. Then, on the other end, you got some people who are like, some of you braiders, even though your mom and your grandma and your great-grandma taught you how to braid, baby, y'all over here a little heavy-handed. Y'all pulling people's little follicles out. People have traction alopecia, which is permanent hair damage, permanent hair loss. People were getting blisters, fungi, you know, a variety of things that can come from braids. And again, permanent hair loss. So, you know, my little good, you know, couple, I'll be honest with y'all, spots from being a kid, you know, because we used to think the tighter the better. And there was a myth about tight braids making your hair grow. And no, we found out later that that's definitely not the case. So some people felt like this industry does need some sort of an oversight as well. So I understood both sides. Where do you fall in that conversation?
So I'm a little bit in between. So I've been to cosmetology school. I'm actually preparing myself to go take my state board. So I did go to school and I want to learn more about hair. I love braiding, but I need to know more information about scalp problems, seborrheic dermatitis, learning about cleaning your tools. It's so much to like the health of hair just besides braiding, because braiding can actually do more damage than good if you don't know exactly what you're doing. When it comes to people who have alopecia and things like that, you really need to be educated on all of those things to know how you can execute certain styles on certain people. Now that I have that information, I know when a client comes in that I cannot service you because you have this going on, or I can spot out lice. I can spot this out. Some people, they don't have that education to have that knowledge of, I know what that is, I don't know what that is. And I think with a lot of the braiders, I feel like if you don't want a license, let's at least have a certification for it, where you can at least learn everything from sanitation, scalp diseases, scalp issues, and everything else. Shampooing, like a lot of braiders now, they don't shampoo. I honestly feel like shampooing, that is the foundation before you even install the braids. Because some clients, they'll come wash and it's still oily, it's still this. Sometimes they don't even wash it at all. So I feel like they need to learn how to shampoo. They need to learn about different scalp treatments. I offer a lot of scalp treatments to my clients because some of them do have thinning, or some people do have hair dryness, where I'm going to give you that extra deep condition before we install these braids. So I feel like if you don't want to go to school, at least get a certification so you can at least have the basic foundation of the scalp and the hair.
That, and I mean that, so because it's like, I think for the most part, especially with the YouTube tutorial kind of teaching culture that we've landed in, that there's so much emphasis that's posed on the artistry of braiding, right? So we're really like stepping it up with the styles and things like that, but people are not getting as much into the science of hair, right? They're really focused on the art, but less on the science of hair. And now we're also seeing a variety of things that for me, that are really kind of new and understanding, like some of the artificial hair or the synthetic hair. There's a lot of people who are experiencing allergies to this cankerloin hair, right? Because there's a lot of chemicals that are in that hair and in that product that some people, my daughter herself personally, she got some braids, all of a sudden her face broke out and she was just itching and itching. And for the first time, I had never even known that that was a thing. We'd never really experienced that. A lot of people also started to understand that those strands of cankerloin or the synthetic is very strong and it can actually cut into the hair. So here we are wearing this as a protective style, but it's something that's actually causing you breakage and damage, you know, as well. So I'm so happy that you've decided to say, this is an industry that I love and respect, and I want to be as educated and informed so I can correctly service my customer, not purely on the aesthetics, but also on what is the health of the hair, which is fundamental, right? That has to be the fundamental. So now, to me, I think that stands out to me as one of your differentiators versus a lot of what I see people placing emphasis on and not. Is there anything else that you feel like, based on the wide scope of people who are in this industry, that you decided, I'm going to do differently? Like, I've looked around, I've worked with braiders, I've worked in salons, but this is what I want to bring to the table.
Yes, I actually do. So I opened my salon because I wanted to help other young Black women like myself to grow and to build. So right now it is 11 of us at my salon, and I made sure I interview everyone, because at the end of the day, you're working for me in my salon. So you are a part of my brand, because if someone goes on Google and say, hey, you know, so-and-so messed my hair up, it's under my brand. So they are their own business, but they do work for me as in inside my salon. So like I said, they stand for me. So what I offer to them, a lot of places don't offer. So they do pay their booth rent. I do offer now AFLAC, because a lot of us being self-employed, we don't have like health insurance or like short-term disability. So I just actually signed up so I can offer that to my girls. So if anything happens with carpal tunnel or ankles, anything, because actually recently I have Achilles tendonitis just from standing and braiding 6 to 10 hours. So that's why I say, you know what, let me offer AFLAC to these young ladies who work for me so they can have the opportunity to have this, because you never know when something can go wrong. Also, I do offer like maternity leave where I can work with them, because I have 2 kids, so I understand. I work with them with just everything. I help them build, I promote them, and I made sure I built my platform Braids by Kiana over these years so I can use it to the advantage, because I had surgery on my wrist years ago. So certain styles I cannot offer. So my clients, they'll come to me for crochet styles. But I have other ladies in there, Senegalese twists, kinky twists. They can offer those other styles to my clients, and the money is still in home. So, and the one thing I love about the young ladies who work in my salon, we all respect each other. We don't get mad if a client sits in this chair, because at the same time, we are like this with the clients. We're keeping that money in home. And also, you know, sometimes I'll see my clients come in and they go to my girls, and I haven't seen them in years. I don't get upset about it, because guess what? They are helping them pay me at the end of the day. So guess what? The money is still where? In-house. So I feel like that's what keeps me different from everyone else. Because like I said, you know, you have a lot of people who it's the competition, it's the hate, and it shouldn't be like that. We should be able to work together. Like I said, there's money out here for everybody.
That, and you know what I love? I listening to you, I still can't believe that you're only 26.
Yeah.
This forward thinking and really having the big picture in mind. You really touched on something that is a conversation that is not had as much as it needs to be had, and that is the overall health of the stylist. You know, these styles typically take hours to do, but most importantly, they're so very repetitive. You know, and I've worked in jobs that did cause, you know, pre-carpal tunnel experience, you know, feelings of pain. And so when you're doing something like you said, when you're standing on your feet all day and you're using your hands over and over and over again, and that is how you make your money, then what is going to happen when your body is now not able to execute that right there? And for you to actually say, let me make sure that I'm able to offer AFLAC as insurance for my stylist, that is just absolutely, I mean, that's, you are remarkable.
Thank
You
you.
are remarkable. And when you go out of your way to care for your employees and to consider their long-term health, not treat them simply as something that's transactional, you know, they work for you and then they're gone, but you're actually caring about their long-term health. That right there is what gets you that kind of a team that creates a culture in your salon that is that positive energy that you're speaking about and that you're highlighting. I think that that is absolutely remarkable. You deserve your flowers for that. Again, you guys, 26 years old, 26 years old and thinking along these lines, right? Now, I can only imagine for you learning this and being in this, and now you're coming into the success and everything, but it hasn't always been easy. Right? Someone is looking at you and they're like, oh my God, Braids by Kiana, she has it all together. She has a salon, she has this, she has it all together. What have been some of the challenges that you have faced or you currently face, or anything just that you said, but you know what, I'm still here, right? I'm still in the game.
Right. So I've been in business since I was 12, I would like to say. But the salon I am going, actually September 7th, it'll be 2 years since I've had my space. So before I even opened 2 years ago, I had all of my chairs leased out before even opening. Super excited. I was super pumped. A lot of the young ladies were a little bit younger than I was. I did have a couple who are older than I was, but it really came to a crumble, I would say, just because, you know, people were discussing pay or how much they pay for their booth or X, Y, and Z. So at the time I was offering part-time and full-time. So part-time was 100, my full-time was 200. But everybody kind of started at a different pace. I had some people who didn't have clients. I had people who did have clients. So what I did was, if you couldn't afford, for an example, the 100, let's start you off at 75. And then in 2 months, let's work you up to 85. And then in 3 months, let's work you up to 100. So we can kind of pace you building your clientele. So some people were paying 75 starting off. Some people were paying 100. Some people were paying 150. I did that because I wanted to help them build. I didn't want to seem like I was taking their money, just say, hey, I'm getting paid every Monday. You know, and X, Y, and Z. No, I wanted them to build their clientele. And I didn't want them to struggle to have to pay me and come out with no money at all. So I wanted to build everyone. So basically from that, they didn't like the fact that they were all paying different things and it collapsed. And also people just weren't getting along. So as a solution to that, with the new young ladies, because I have a totally new team, I put in my contract, I give you 60 days. So once you sign your contract, you have 60 days to say, hey, you know what, Braids by Kiana, this is the place for me. I love it. I'm building clientele. Or you can simply say, hey, Kiana, I don't think this is a great fit. You don't have to tell me the reason really, but if you feel like you're not building clientele, you're not getting along with someone, we can just terminate your contract and you can just move forward, just to alleviate any drama or anything like that. So far that has helped for me. And a lot of my ladies, they're going on 2 years with me. So far we've been doing really, really good.
That is extraordinary, and it's so responsive, and it's also one of the things that I, constantly trying to make people aware of, that we have to sort of beta test, right? We have to create beta test opportunities for us in business, because as a business owner, we provide a solution to a problem. Now, we conceive of that solution, right? We come up with that solution, and a lot of times we map it out in our minds. It makes sense to us. But it's not until we actually try to position that solution in the wild, where it's really our consumer, our customer, or our service providers that are now having to utilize those solutions, that sometimes we come back with feedback that says, wow, okay, this solution didn't work out as well as I thought. It made all the sense in the world to me conceptually, but then when I actually tried to apply it, or when they tried to apply it, there were hidden issues that I just did not think about, because we only have our perspective, right? But I love that you didn't hold on to that solution and try to force the environment to work to what you thought. Instead, you were responsive to the environment and said, I'm going to go back, rework that solution, and then, make it work for that. I think that was absolutely so introspective and so smart of you. And it moves that, that ego is out of the way so that you can get to your goal. And that's really the whole point. Is you wanted harmony, you wanted balance, you wanted what was fair. And so you came up with a solution that met all of those checkpoints. And I think that is absolutely brilliant. So I have a question for you as well. Now, in the service industry, right? Because especially when we're utilizing our bodies, we have to think a little bit long term in terms of products that we're going to offer. So besides the service, are there any products that you're also offering, consider offering, or anything like that?
Yeah, so actually with the girls at the salon, so I kind of, in their contracts, I give them things that I include. So I actually include like their shampoos and their conditioners, because it's a certain brand that I love, and it's Design Essentials. It works on all textures, curly, wavy, thick, thin. It works with everybody. So also I offer those to clients. They can purchase those. And also my brand that I'll always love is called Jensa. I lived in North Carolina for 2 years, and I found this company in Crabtree Mall in Raleigh. And they have their own hairspray, like an oil, different scents. It deodorizes, moisturizes, and everything else. So I really only promote their products, but it works wonders. And it's like this. Like every time I get on the shelf, it is gone, because the clients, they love it and it's working.
So now these products and you can let me know, hopefully I'm not asking anything too personal, but have you been able to create like an affiliate or a partnership program by you being such a repetitive customer of this company? Have you yet been able to establish something like that with them?
For Design Essential, no, but recently Jensa, they have approved me for paid partnership. So I'm looking forward to hearing from them for more information with that, so I can kind of promote them even more on social media, because like I said, their products are amazing. It works wonders. So.
And that right there gives me an opportunity for a gem dropping moment. So, as you guys just heard Kiana express, she is a trusted resource for this service. But when you're doing a service that is very physically overwhelming, your body is going to become an issue, and breakdown is real. So you have to think a little bit long term in terms of income streams. When you're no longer able to provide that service, what else can you do to make sure that you have alternative and additional income streams? When you're a service provider, the first income stream that you kind of want to focus in is on the products that you utilize to provide those services. Now, that does not mean that you have to immediately go out and create a product. A lot of times you can literally just affiliate or partner with the product that you use and you trust and you've been loyal to all of this time. Now, as a service provider, what you would want to do is set up an affiliate link, and if you're able to, create a downline for the other salon service providers that are in your salon as well, and see if you're able to expand it out that way. Another product that you can offer is a digital product. This is teaching. If you're able to do it and you do it successfully, you're able to teach that same service to someone else. These are products that are evergreen, that are everlasting. And so that's a way to have some additional revenue stream coming in long after your body is no longer able to meet the challenges of providing that service. And so, you know how we do. If I drop the gem on you, you can drop some coins, and half of all of the revenue for live day services goes to our guests as well. So back to the interview. Okay, so Kiana, that leads me now to asking you, have you set up a digital product?
Honestly, no, I have not. I've always thought about it because now that's the trend. All of the braiders I know, or the styles that I know, they are on platforms where people just purchase their classes and learn different things. Shoot, I've purchased some classes from some people to learn some more information. So I've definitely been thinking about it, and I'm thinking about going ahead and starting, just because I have had wear and tear on my legs and I have surgery on my wrist. So I am like brainstorming and coming up with different ways to have some income in. That's also why I have my salon suites. So I don't have to, do as much work, and I still have income coming in.
Yes. Well, that is, you don't know, and people, you guys, you know how I do. She doesn't know, but I'm going to provide that for you. I'm going to give you for free my courses that are on how to create a digital product, as well as my webinars to create a digital product, because you have opportunity to teach, whether it's your styles and as far as even starting a salon, right? You have so much information that you can actually teach. And a lot of times we get in our mind about teaching because we're like, okay, I'm not a master, so who am I to teach? But the truth of the matter is that if you're very transparent and letting people know, this is just a one-on-one, this is a beginner's guide, you can teach the person who's just coming right up behind you. Just teach them the few steps. If you're 4 or 5 steps ahead of them, you can help make their journey a little bit easier. So it doesn't mean that you have to teach them everything or know everything. You can just teach them what you know, and it helps to make their journey a little bit easier. So that I will be giving you for free. Okay. So now, yes, you're very welcome. You're welcome, because you have a wealth of knowledge, I really firmly believe. And again, that's evergreen. That'll stay. That's money that you can make in your sleep. So now, can you please let everyone know how we can find you, where you are, how to sign up, whatever you have going on? The floor is yours.
Okay, well, I'm located in Richmond, Virginia. My website is braidsbykiana.as.me. And I really don't know what else to say. I'm just thankful for this opportunity to be on this interview with you. And that's it.
Yeah, and Instagram, of course, right?
Oh, that's right. I can't forget about my Instagram. Yes, you can follow me on Instagram, Braids by Kiana.
Braids by Kiana on Instagram, and that's Kiana for those who are listening, audible, and it's braids with an S, not a Z. So Braids by Kiana at Instagram. And repeat the website for one more time.
braidsbykiana.as.me. And also I would like to say, when you do look me up on Instagram, it is actually another Braids by Kiana in Texas. So I should be the first one on top when you look up Braids by Kiana. Okay,
and see that means you're doing something right. Okay. So I'm so proud of you. Again, you guys,
thank you.
26-year-old owner of her own hair salon. Like, are you guys getting this? Like, this is remarkable. 11 stylists underneath her, that she's not only providing space and opportunity for income, but mentorship, guidance, concerned about their health, insurance, worried about making sure that they have a positive work environment and a flow at 26 years old. I am so proud of you, Kiana. I'm so honored that you even pulled up on our journey and you shared your experience. So, as you guys all see, these are the people we need to highlight. These are the people that need to be seen and need to be heard. We have a wealth. And if you want more stories like this, if you want to hear more people like Kiana, tune into the next episode of the Drum Circle Show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. Goodbye.
All right. Bye.
Hey, everybody, happy Wednesday. Hey, everybody, happy Wednesday. I know why you're here. You're here for an exciting, fuck that shit. I'm gonna stop recording it. I'm gonna stop stopping the recording because I need to get some good bloopers. We can do this. I can do this. I swear to God, I'm not as slow as I'm here. I didn't have no happy juice. This is not a paid endorsement.
Red,
I don't drink this too much, y'all, so don't be judging me. I'm old. Y'all know people gotta do what they gotta do, so don't judge me. But
oh my goodness.
Let's see if that do what it do. All right, ready?
Yep.
I'm about to do a whole different, just a regular. Hey, happy Wednesday.